Hello, my name is Rickard, and in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to recreate this poster inside of Photoshop. If you'd like to follow along, I have included all the assets that I use in a link in the description of this video. Go ahead, download those, and then let's dive into Photoshop. All right, let's get started. First, I'm going to create a new file that's 20 by 26 by 3000. I'm going to leave it at 72 RGB white and square pixels. Next, I want to create a guide layout. So I'm going to go to View, Guides, New Guide Layout. And here I want this to be 5 columns. Here, let me just put this on default. We're going to make this 5 columns. Get rid of that gutter. We're going to make this 8 rows. Again, get rid of that gutter. And then for the margin, we're going to do a top and bottom margin of 100 and then a left and right of 82. So just like that, then we're going to hit OK. Next, I want to add one more guide, and we're going to do that by going here, Guides, New Guide. And this one is going to be a horizontal guide, and I want it to be at 23,100, or sorry, 2310. So just right there. All right, next we're going to start pulling in all of our images. And just before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and put in a black background. So here I'm going to go to solid color and just make this 00000. And then I'm going to go to File, Place Embedded, and inside the Assets folder, we're going to find a few images. I'm going to grab this one first, and we're going to flip this one horizontally. And then we're going to place this one kind of up here, so his head is right by that guide there. And then if we hold down Option, we can put our anchor point there. If you don't see your anchor point, you can turn it on right here. And then with that anchor point, we can kind of scale from that point. And I want to make this so that the wheel is right about there. We're kind of just seeing this hand coming into frame. And I am, to some degree, trying to hide the fact that we flipped this by making it look like it's possible that he's in the driver's seat and there's enough space there for a passenger. All right, with that in place, I am going to mask it a bit. So let's go ahead and go onto our rectangular marquee. Make sure you have snap turned on because we do want this to snap to our guides. We're going to go from that guide to that guide. So right there, and then we'll go ahead and add a mask. Okay, next, let's go ahead and do File, Place Embedded. And we'll just go down and grab our next one, which is this girl here. And she is going to go down here, right about there. And then if we move our guide and then start making this smaller, and this is where our guide down here is coming into play. So I basically want this to kind of line up to that bottom guide down there. And then we'll go with our rectangular marquee. I also need this to actually go actually that's fine. Okay, so let's go onto our rectangular marquee and we're gonna select just these guide points there and then add a mask. All right, let's do File, Place Embedded one more time. We'll grab the next one here. This guy is gonna go right around here, so his face centered on this guide here, and then we can just pull this until it lines up to that guide there. All right, and then here we'll make a selection just around there and add our mask, and then our last image is going to go on the bottom right, and we'll go ahead and place this and start making it smaller. And I want it about that size there. And then I'm going to grab my marquee tool yet again and add a mask. Okay, so now I'm going to turn off my guides with Command semicolon, just so I can get a better sense of how everything's looking. The next thing I want to do is just do some basic curves on all these to get them looking like they belong together. So to do that, I think this top one here actually looks pretty neutral already. So I'm going to go to this one here next. I'll do Command M, and already you can see that we don't really have any pure white. So let's see if we can't resolve that first, and then maybe just pull a little more light into our darks here. Kind of counter that in these highlights here. We don't want those blowing up. So something like that. Otherwise, color-wise, this looks pretty neutral already. We can try with our neutral, just kind of clicking in the sweater, but you can see it really didn't have much of an effect there. Okay, next we'll do this girl. I'm going to do Command M again, and you can see that she doesn't have as dark of a black point here. So let's go ahead and fix that. So something like that. Okay, and then let's go on our last one here, which is this. And you can see he definitely needs to be brightened up a bit, so we'll go ahead and do that first. Just kind of brighten him up so he's got the same kind of highlight as these other characters here. So something like that. Okay, next thing we're going to do is add kind of a curve on top that gives all of these a little bit of a kind of a pre-color grade that just pushes them a little towards cyan. And we're going to do that now that we've neutralized all the images. We're going to use an adjustment layer on top of all of these so that they affect all of our layers underneath here. And for this, I'm first just going to pull our whites down a little bit. So something like this. And then inside my reds, I'm going to pull down this towards cyan just a little bit here. And then maybe just push a little bit of my blues up. And right away you can see that that's kind of unifying all these, giving them a little bit more of a cinematic look. All right, the next thing we're going to do is add our gradients map, and this is for the red blocks that you see kind of appearing across the design. So for this, I'm going to first go and I want to kind of deselect this so that I don't have a mask selected. I can just do that by clicking here in the layers panel. Next, I'm going to go here and I want to select the first red color, which is going to be 2F0E17. Whoops. So 2FOE17, that's going to be kind of a dark red color. And then let's go to our background color, and this is going to be a brighter red. This is going to be E03210. Okay, so with our dark red and our lighter red there as my two colors, I'm going to go here and add a gradient map. And because I selected that mask first, you can see here it put my default colors on mask. I don't want that. So let me just select the mask itself so I have those two colors. And the reason that's important is here when I add my gradient map, it's going to use those two colors to set my gradient map. So with those two colors set, I don't have to go in here and do anything with the gradient. It's already set how I want it to. All right, next, let's go ahead and double click on our mask to bring up our mask properties. And let's go ahead and invert the mask. All right, next I'm going to turn my guides back on with Command semicolon. Go ahead and select my marquee. And let's go ahead and select this first block right here. And it's from this first guide here and then 3 guides down. And with our mask selected, we're going to fill this with white. Okay, next we're going to select this block right here, and this is actually going to go past the block just a little bit. So kind of eyeball this. Most of the other things we're using the guides for, but this one, just going to eyeball a little bit. And to fill this with white, white is my foreground color, so all I have to do is hold down Option and then Delete, or Alt backspace if you're on a PC. All right, next we're going to select this block right here. And in the original poster, he doesn't have a red block, but there's also kind of a big space here for credits and stuff that I'm not doing for this. So I'm actually going to take this bottom block here and add some red to that. Okay, so now the other thing we have to do right before we add some titles here is add some black lines that kind of give all these a border effect. So to do that, I'm just going to go onto my line tool here. I want my fill to be a pure black, so let's go here and just make this a pure black. I don't want there to be any stroke, and I want the width of the line to be 17 pixels. All right, and then with a new layer selected here, I'm actually going to put this on pixels. I don't need a shape. I don't need a whole bunch of layers. I'm just going to go from here and use this red as a guide there. So one line there. We're going to do another line between these two right here. Another line between these two. And I can see now that it's actually defaulted to not black and white, but that's okay. It's all on one layer, so we can just switch it to black afterwards. And I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so let's turn off our guides with Command semicolon, and you can see here that this isn't black, and it should be. So let's go ahead and hit D on our keyboard. That defaults our colors to black and white. And then if I hold down Option while I'm on the Move tool, if I hold down Option and Delete, that's going to fill with black. But if I add Shift to the equation, it's going to factor in the existing transparency. And in this case, that means it's only going to fill in my lines that weren't black with black. So now you can see they're all black. And we also missed one right here. So let's go back onto our line tool. Just click right here and then go down to there. All right, so we now have all of those in place. The next thing we're going to do is just add some titles. I can actually take all of this and kind of put it in a folder called artwork. And then we can add a new folder for our titles. And for this poster, I'm just going to add the Crime 101. And I'm going to go onto my type tool. And for this, I'm using a Google font called Ultra, which is pretty similar to the font that's used on the poster itself. So we'll just go here, type in Crime 101. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and open my text palette here. I want this to be 424, so quite large there. We're going to take off this faux bold there. I definitely don't want that turned on. We're going to set this to -20. And then we're going to actually set this to 75. Now, usually I would not recommend scaling a font like this, but I couldn't find a condensed version of this, and scaling it actually matched the original poster quite well. So we're going to kind of place this right here in the middle in that space. And then what I want to do as a last little step here is we're going to take this 101, just the 101, and we're going to give it the same red color as this here. And we're going to make that just a tiny bit brighter. So something like that. Okay, so we now have all of that in place. The last thing we're going to do is add some kind of overall grading effects on top of everything. So first, I'm going to go ahead and just add a curve, and this is going to be kind of a color grade on top of the whole thing. I'm going to take down my whites a little bit here just so I can put some noise into the crime. I'm also going to go to my blue. This is going to do most of our heavy lifting here. I'm going to take this down along the top, and that's going to push some yellow into our whites here. And then along the bottom, I'm going to kind of drag it up along the diagonal so that I'm putting a little blue in my black, but I'm not at the same time making all of my dark colors too blue. So something like this kind of puts a little bit of blue in there, but not too much. Also might go in here and just make this maybe 2 or 3 there. Just make our blacks a little bit lighter. And then maybe finally I'll go into my green and just put 1 or 2, just so that we put a little bit of magenta into our yellows there. So I'm pretty happy with that. The last thing I might do here is just add some film grain on top of the whole thing. To do that, I'm going to go here, add a solid color. We'll make this a 50% gray, so 0050. We'll convert this into a smart filter, and then we'll go to camera raw. And then in here, we're just going to go straight to effects, straight to grain, and all we're using this layer for is our film grain. So set that to something that looks good. And then we're going to put this on linear light. If we zoom in here, you can see that's way too strong. So we're going to go to the fill, not the opacity, the fill, and just turn that down until we see the effect there, but it's not too strong. So maybe around 20 looks pretty darn good. So there you have it. That's how you recreate that poster inside of Photoshop. And hopefully through this, you've learned some tips, tricks, and techniques that you can use in your own projects. Now, if you did enjoy this tutorial, I would appreciate if you subscribe to my channel, leave me a like, share this video, and leave me a comment on some other posters you'd like to see me recreate inside of Photoshop, or any other tutorials you'd like to see me do for Photoshop. Otherwise, if you enjoy learning Photoshop through actual project-based learning like this, check out Nucly.com. I sell professional training for Photoshop as well as asset packs that you can use. So check that out. Otherwise, here's some other tutorials you can check out, and I will see you next time.